Hi everyone, it's good to be back, it's good to see you. We're glad that you made it for Small Talk. And today, as I was studying and doing some work for this upcoming week's sermon, and the thing about doing series, and I try to do like a series in 4 to 6 weeks. In this series I'm trying to do in 4 weeks, so there's things that have to be cut out. And I was looking through this, and there's one part of Daniel that I am going to be cutting out of the story to go to the next one. But as I was looking at this and I was studying it as a whole, just the book as a whole, I came across in the second chapter here, and it made me think about everything going on in today's world. We are living in a world that seems crazier than ever, and I don't know that that's particularly true. Just we see it all with news around the clock and all over the world. I mean, we see what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on here, what's going on in England, where, you know, back in the day we didn't see all that. But with all this craziness, with all this chaos that seems to be going on, you know, we have Russia and the Syria incidents, we have Oregon, the Oregon shooting, we have the elections, which that always seems crazy in this country, and we have all this just stuff going on, and sometimes this begs the question, is God in control of everything? Is God really, does he really care about what's going on in the world around us? Does he really, you know, we see these horrible leaders, is he really, you know, he put them there for his purpose? How does all that work? Well, as I was reading Daniel, in chapter 2, there's a part of Daniel's life that happens where King Nebuchadnezzar has this dream. It terrifies him, and the problem is he can't remember what the dream is, and so he called all of his wise men together, all of his magicians, all of these people together, and said, you need to tell me what the dream is, and then you need to interpret it for me so I know what it is, because it's terrified me. I'm just terrified by it. And of course, the majority of them are like, we can't do that. You're asking us to do the impossible. And Daniel had not been called in on this meeting, didn't know about it. Who knows where he was at or what was going on. He was maybe off doing something more important. Well then, because King Nebuchadnezzar said, well, if you can't do it, I'm getting rid of all of you. By getting rid of all of you, he meant, I'm ending your life. All of you. I don't care. You're all dead. And so Daniel tells the guy, he says, give me a day, let me, you know, gather my friends. He gathers his friends and he pulls them together. And he says, we've got to pray about this, and we've got to ask God to give us the answer here so that we can not only save our lives, but save the lives of everybody else. And just think about this. Daniel saw these kings and leaders, not just one, but several in his lifetime that were evil, that were self-centered, that cared only about themselves. And he saw all of this. These kings basically had limitless powers. They could do whatever they wanted. And this is what he says after God gives him the answer. And we find this in Daniel chapter 2, beginning with verse 20. It says, then Daniel praised the God of heaven, saying, praise the name of God forever and ever. He alone has all wisdom and power. He determines the course of world events. He removes kings and sets others on the throne. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the scholars. He reveals deep and mysterious things. He knows what lies hidden in darkness, though he himself is surrounded by light. I thank and praise you, God of my ancestors. You have given me wisdom and strength, and you have told me what we asked you and revealed to us what the king has demanded. Isn't that wonderful? Daniel acknowledges the power of God. He says, in all this chaos and all of this, he says, in verse 21, he says, basically he's saying, God determines the course of world events. He removes kings and sets others on the thrones. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the scholars. Daniel says God's in control of all things. When we're in the midst of chaos in our own personal lives, and just things seem to be falling apart and unraveling, and things aren't going as planned, the one thing we can fall back on is that God is in control. He's in control. He knows all things. He is wise. And we, in the midst of these chaotic times, should go to God in prayer, ask for wisdom, and He'll gladly give it to us. You know, too many times we think of God as a magic genie who gives us things instantly that we ask for, and sometimes it's in the middle of the chaos, the middle of these things, that God provides wisdom to us through the chaos, through the mess. And He doesn't just like bestow it upon us like, here, boom, here's wisdom, but it's through these events that we can step back, look and learn. God is in control. And that's the thing that we need to remember, that in all situations, even though it may seem chaotic, God's in control. Things may not be going as you plan, but God's in control. I hope your week is going well. I hope this has helped you, and you know, we hope to see those of you who go to Church of Good Hope. We hope to see you on Sunday morning. If you go to another church, remember it's important to get to church to become a part of a community. We encourage you to find a local church if you need to. And we hope to see you again next week here on Wednesday. You guys have a good week. We will talk to you later. This has been Small Talk.